Hello. Today we are going to try something nice and hot. We'll be playing Legacy Burn. Uh, this is probably, to paraphrase Tenacious D, this is not the greatest Legacy deck in the world. This is just a tribute to one Patrick Sullivan, commentator for SCG, and all-around great guy. Played last week in the Team Open with this deck list. He was kind enough to share with us on Twitter. By the way, I highly recommend, if you do the Twitter thing, to follow at Basic Mountain. You see this lovely Arabian Nights mountain right there. That is Arabian Nights was the very first expansion to Magic, and they were going to put in the full cycle of basic lands, and they decided to pull it at the last minute, and they forgot to get rid of the mountain. So, as the only basic land in Arabian Nights, its mountain is, I believe, the most printed card in the history of Magic, since every other time they print the cycle of basic lands, they print the whole cycle. Also, this particular mountain with the Arabian Nights expansion symbol is like $40 or $50, which is kind of crazy. As I said, this is a tribute, so if you'll notice, we have the same art. It's not the Arabian Nights expansion because you can't get Arabian Nights on Magic Online, but we do what I'll do what I can, which is apparently not speaking correctly. Anyway, been playing around with this deck a little bit. I did actually manage to 5-0 a league. By the way, I am started a Twitter account for this. You can follow me at Limited Stupidity. Stupidity is too many characters, so I dropped the final E on stupidity, or the final I on stupidity. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's see if I can talk about the deck here. So the number one characteristic of the Burn deck, aside from 20 basic mountains, is you have 16 1-mana bolts, effectively. Rift Bolt, Lightning Bolt, Lava Spike, Chain Lightning, all you spend 1 mana and you deal 3 damage, usually to your opponent. You also have 12 cheap creatures, 4 Goblin Guide, 4 Monastery Swift Spear, 4 Eidolon of the Great Revel to do a bunch you usually don't want to draw these creatures late in the game, but you're very happy to have them in your opening hand. And then you have 3 more sets of burn spells. Fire Blast is fantastic, just because you can spend 0 mana and deal 4 to your opponent and usually kill them. It's, sacrificing 2 mountains is great. When the game ends on the spot, Flame Rift is just going to deal 4 damage to each player. Usually your life total in Legacy is not under a huge amount of duress, so just doing 4 damage right away is great. Price of Progress, since we have 20 basic mountains, Price of Progress deals damage equal to each player, equal to twice the number of non-basic lands that player controls. That will always be 0 in our case, and hopefully, if this is 4, that's great. If it's ever more than 4, it's just insane to spend 2 mana and deal 6-8 damage to your opponent. If they're on like some Eldrazi list, or some of the Delver lists don't really even run basic lands. So just game plan of opponent is just deal 20 to them as soon as possible. You can go. This is kind of like a slow combo deck for Legacy, in that you can't kill before turn 3. If you have a Fire Blast, it's not that hard to get a turn 3 kill. It's not that hard to do a turn 3 kill if you have Fire Blast. Without Fire Blast, it's like a turn 4 kill. But it's somewhat hard to interact with, in that 1 Force of Will. Okay, they Force of Willed a Lava Spike. No big deal. Force of Willed a Flame Rift. that'll buy them a turn, and then you draw another Chain Lightning and you just kill them. So here's that. Onto the sideboard quickly. It's, again, relatively simple. We have 6 Searing Blood or Searing Blaze effects. Running 4 Searing Blood because doing 2 damage to the creature, that's enough to kill Deathrite Shaman, that's enough to kill Delver's Secrets, any elves, whatever, anything out of Death and Taxes. 2 damage is usually enough, and triggering the landfall on Searing Blaze is a little tricky sometimes. So, you know, it's obvious which matchups these come in for. Then we have 4 Exquisite Firecraft as kind of an uncounterable 4 damage burn spell. Helps a lot against Miracles, any other decks that are trying to put up a wall of counter spells. And then we have Sulfuric Vortex, clamp down on any life gain. Also, just like again against Miracles, any game that's going to go for a while. If you can resolve this, it's going to do, you know, if you can resolve this on turn 3, by turn 7, it's going to deal 8 damage to your opponent, which is great. It's going to do some damage to you, but hopefully that's not a big deal. The last ones are 2 Smash of Smithereens, take care of any Batterskulls or Jittes that are definitely very bad for this deck. Also, Chalice of the Void can really wreck us since we're running, I believe, 21 drops. Yeah, 21 drops in the main deck. And then a Sudden Shock, whatever, good for Infect. I think it's also okay to bring in against Miracles to take care of, to make it pseudo-uncounterable unless they happen to have a 2 on top of their deck with Counterbalance. And also, it will kill Monastery Mentor, so you can prevent them from racing you if that's the kind of game that it's setting up to be. So this is the hot deck, tribute to Patrick Sullivan. Let's see how we do.